Good evening and welcome back. It's Matt, Skywatcher. And it's been a very strange day today here in the Northern Hemisphere. And also looking at different cams too early out of the morning. Looking at the NASA Ustream cam and picking up more red reflections as well. And other strange, crazy looking clouds that are mixed with chemicals. So it's on the horizons early hours in the morning. We're seeing this red reflection to the right hand side before the sun comes up. I believe this to be the binary twin, Nemesis. This huge object is getting closer towards our natural Earth now. It's come from the right hand side of the sun. It's making our way over towards us. Again, NASA government won't disclose this. So it's only down to us, the members of public around the world, to put all the information together, because news media will lie all the way through. They won't say nothing. Again, this afternoon I tried to speak to a colleague, reporter from Channel 4 News in the UK. But again, they just say it's just normal clouding. But it's not. We all know this. These streaks in the sky are chemtrails. They're only doing this because this huge celestial body is heading towards Earth. So again, before I start this video, I just want you all to please prepare for this. Let's sort ourselves out. Let's prep, stock up. Time is now. It's got so close now. Again, yesterday it was 20 degrees. It was very hot here in the UK for March. Very strange. Even at night time it was very, very warm. Again, today, the 31st of the 3rd, 2017, it's very warm again. The weather is erratic. And then it starts raining, it starts hailstoning and stops all of a sudden. Very windy, and then the wind drops, it disappears. The jet stream, it's all over the place now. It's not a steady flow anymore. Please don't believe the media climate change hoax. It's all a hoax, all of it. You have to understand that these earthquakes are being caused by this huge celestial object. This black star, the one that we can't see. It's getting ever so close now towards our Earth. Everything now up in the skies have changed. We've witnessed this many a time now on the New Mexico cams, the Switzerland cams, the Skyline cams, lots of different cams around the world. We're witnessing this darkness in the skies, this huge shadow on the horizon. I just urge everybody, all kind subscribers, to prepare again for this situation. So we're going to try different cams around the world now. So respect to all of you. Have a great weekend and a great evening. I just want to show you this clip as well. It's very important. As you can see on the screen, can you see that glare on the Earth? That red reflection that's around that glare. The thing is though, it shrinks and goes into two small objects and disappears in them chems. If you just look closely on the screen. I mean, the thing is though, being the sun, wouldn't you think it'd just be brightening up the whole Earth? But there's another object that's beaming down, isn't there? And they're trying to hide this from all the public, all the time using these cloaking devices. Again, the word simulator, solo simulator, is being used all the time. It's blocking those objects. And also those CMEs, solar flares, that are travelling towards our Earth. Our Earth's magnetic field is being pounded every day as we walk on the celestial body. We are in some crazy times ahead of us. And these evidence light sources are causing huge problems to our Earth's core, causing it to burn twice as much, just like the sun right now. As that Death Star, the binary twin, is right close between us and our sun. We've got some very unexplained situations ahead of our times. Again, it's so important to send the message out to all the public and all you subscribers, because I just want to try and save lives, just to make people aware that this is a real event that's heading our way. Everything you see on the screen is real. These chems, this red reflection, we're seeing from the other side now. Space weather has got really erratic. There is some huge problems, and you can see now that the light's dimming on the Earth. You can see this now, can't you, where they're covering it using this object that's up there in the atmosphere. They're using this all the time now. They just don't want us to see it. It's so annoying. But many of the people like yourselves are starting to look up to the skies now and noticing that there is a huge object that's being cloaked all the time. So checking the NASA cams is very important, because they're picking up all the reflections and the colorings. And if you saw the NASA cams about a couple of years ago, you would have seen that the clouds were different. Much different from this. Now you can see that object. It's just, the light source has disappeared now. Just very strange, isn't it? Let's take a look at the SOHO cam for the past few days and see if we've got any more huge amounts of solar flares heading off from our natural sun. It is heading our way all the time, pounding our atmosphere. Again, it's got to be so important for you, the people, to get all the information. Because, again, I'm witnessing these red horizons because of these huge CME blasts are pounding our Earth. Again, it only takes one huge CME to pull down the power grid. These huge power plants, these power stations can go at any time. See, when the power grid goes down, these will heat up. These are water cooled all the time, 24 hours a day. And if that water piping system, the electrical source that powers them, huge grids, they would just explode. So we're going to have huge problems for them as well. This is one of the nuclear reactor cores. A nuclear reactor core is a key component of a nuclear reactor. In reactor physics, the nuclear core is a bounded region where the neutron multiplication occurs and where the chain reactions take place. The reactor core contains especially the nuclear fuel, fuel assemblies, the moderator, and the control rods. And the core of the reactor contains all the nuclear fuel assemblies and generates most of its heat. A fraction of the heat is generated outside the reactor. Gamma rays, energy. The assemblies are extracted, placed in the reactor according to the fuel loading pattern. Again, if these suddenly stop and there's no cooling system around them, they will just heat up and it would cause megatons of power that will explode. Like 50 atom bombs. It's just absolutely outstanding what could happen. See, when the power grid goes down, you've got more problems. It could then take 20 to 30 years to rebuild them reactors and then big, huge power grids. Here again is another image of another nuclear reactor core. the components as well. You can see the top nozzle, the fuel rod, the gold rod, control rod thimble, the instrumentation guide thimble, the grid, the filter, the bottom nozzle. I mean, all these components heat up. That's it. It takes years to complete these huge reactors. And the moment that we get a huge CME, solar flare, that's it. This here is a nuclear reactor power plant called the Ikata. And this is another plant down in the Far East, in Japan. And again, when these huge objects come into our solar system very close, we get huge amounts of solar activity, which we've got now because the sun is at its solar maximum. It only takes one huge CME, as I said just earlier on, to cause that big, huge power station and others around the world where you are to go down and close down. And then we're in double trouble, aren't we? This is an image of, this is a reactor, okay, that's water cooled. Special water needed to cool the system down. And it only takes a huge natural event for this to stop working. This is a diagram as well of an EMP area by outbursts at up to 300 miles. Again, both the initial nuclear radiation and residual nuclear radiation, also called radioactive fallout, are extremely dangerous. Will travel through the air, causing lots of problems to ourselves. This diagram is dated 16th of July 1997, just a diagram to show you how far this problem will occur from the power grid, the power station, when it explodes. It covers a whole of continents and things, doesn't it? It's very dangerous because when you will eventually will get an EMP that will cause our grid to go down, this will happen. Another image as well. This is another nuclear power plant, and the reason why this happened is because the cooling system stopped working. And this is what happens. It starts to melt down the reactor. This image as well is space weather, the lenticular polar north image, where you will see these flares, these solar EM attacks that are just heading right down to our Earth as we speak. And they're picking this up on their systems all the time. Also, as our Earth is being battered all the time by these CME events, we're getting these auroras as well, because it's where the magnetic field is being bombarded by these huge events, pounding our celestial body, the Earth, every day. So we're going to now check a live SOHO reading chart to see what's going on up there, the up-to-date chart. Having this on a live monitor in the room on the screen is again important to be able to pick up objects that are going past on this SOHO cam. Again, you will see something fly by up here, whiz past up here. I mean, look at the pounding of these solar flares. I mean, look at it. It's just pushing all this out now. And again, this is why they're chemtrailing, to hide and also to stop this from happening. Did you see that object? It flies here, it just goes above here very fast. We're just in incredible times now, aren't we? Because these flares are getting much more intense than they ever have done before. So again, all the time, we need to all keep an eye on these SOHO cams as well. It's very important, because day by day, through the months and the years, we're slowly coming to seeing what's happening up there in the skies. Those huge celestial bodies, that solar system is heading in towards our system now. And things are getting more stranger by the day. Also on this Soho cam as well. Again, we can see all that trash. And the government don't want you to see this. They just want to keep this quiet. And on this chart here, you can see this shadow, can't you? Here on the right hand side. There's something, that shadow that we see on the other cams as well, as the sun rises. This is an object that's in front of our sun now. And these flares, look at them, the way they blast off into space. Billions of miles an hour. There was also a huge asteroid that was a flyby, and they called it the rerun, and that was asteroid 2017 BX. And also there's millions of asteroids in the solar system, usually found in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. For the new subscribers, a message to say asteroids are small, rocky bodies that orbit the Sun. Other asteroids are often called minor planets or planetoids because they are smaller than planets. Also, a small piece of asteroid, a meteoroid, the size of a calf, falls into Earth's atmosphere about once a year. Football pitch-sized craters are left on Earth every 2,000 years. Some asteroids have their own moons. As a meteoroid travels through the Earth's atmosphere, it creates a fireball that eventually burns out before reaching the ground. But a few have actually reached towards the ground, and there will be others that will be much larger that will go through the keyhole of our atmosphere. All the asteroids in the solar system have a combined mass of less than that of the Moon. Some asteroids were originally comets. The ice have gone and the rocky material is all that's left. There are three types of asteroids: chronodrite, C-type, made of clay and rocks; stony, S-type, made of silicate and nickel iron; and lastly metallic, M-type, made up of precious metals such as platinum, gold and magnesium. And as here on the screen as well, with all those huge asteroids that fly by, they do say the smaller ones, but I believe that there is a much more larger ones out there as well that I've captured on film. And this, you can see on the screen here, this simulator that's covering a lot of these asteroids. See all that huge solar activity that's happening with our sun right now. We don't get to see much of that, you see, because we've got that simulator that's in above our Earth's atmosphere that's covering everything. We don't get to see nothing. But again, when these objects get closer, they will not be able to hide it with other shadow sources and these mirrors they use it up there. These chunks of rock that are coming from one part of our solar system through the Kuiper belt, they just keep coming through all the time because that huge celestial body, Nemesis, with its celestial giants, heading close towards us, travelling like a runaway night train. And this simulator is just so evident now, isn't it? And look at the sun, it's too dark, too dim of skies. Every day we're seeing this strange eeriness of the skies. This is a live diagram as well of Apophis. I know I've brought Apophis up before, but it's another huge object that's will arrive twice. And the second time round is going to be a bit of a worry as well, because scientists are worried about this object. So again, I'm just going to keep tracking this every night as well for you. This celestial object is following us. And it's gaining in on us as well. And time does fly. So we just got to hope it doesn't go through the keyhole of our Earth. As again, we just got to hope things are going to be okay and our families are going to be safe. But the skies are getting much stranger as well, aren't they? I'm going to go now, so I'm going to do another video shortly for you. With respect to all of you, and thank you for subscribing to the channel. And I'll be back again from Matt Rogers. Chemicals. So it's on the horizon, it's early hours of the morning. We're seeing this red reflection to the right-hand side before the sun comes up. I believe this to be the binary twin, Nemesis. This huge object is getting closer towards our natural Earth now. It's come from the right-hand side of the sun. It's making our way over towards us. So again, before I start this video, I just want you all to please prepare for this. Let's sort ourselves out. Let's prep. Stock up. Time is now. It's got so close now. Again, yesterday it was 20 degrees. It was again, NASA government won't disclose this. So it's only down to us, the members of public around the world, to put all the information together, because news media will lie all the way through. They won't say nothing. Again, this afternoon I tried to speak to a colleague. Good evening and welcome back. It's Matt, Skywatcher. And it's been a very strange day today here in the Northern Hemisphere. And also looking at different cams to early hours of the morning. Looking at the NASA Ustream cam and picking up more red reflections as well. And other strange, crazy looking clouds that mixed with a reporter from Channel 4 News in the UK. But again, they just say it's just normal clouding. But it's not. We all know this. These streaks in the sky are chemtrails. They're only doing this because this huge celestial body is heading towards Earth.